Hi Club Manest Unconnected, I'm Ellie and we're going to be going on a nature walk today. This is my dog Thor, he's not going to be with us. And you can say hi now. At first glance, many people might see this big fallen tree and think, wow, that's really sad for the tree. That must not be a good time. But when we take a closer look, we see that it grows all new life for a whole bunch of new assortment of animals. So right up here, we have some grass sprouts which will then make home for other animals, such as, where is she? Right over there. Do you see that? That's a little snail's shell. So we know that over here, during likely the warmer months, that's when we're gonna get to see some crazy cool snails over here. You might be thinking right now, Ellie, what are you sitting in? What is that hole in the ground and why is it so long? Well, I'll tell you. I've come across many of these holes in these woods, and they are formed by water flowing. I'm pretty sure the source starts up over there, and if you can see, it goes down for a very long ways. This is what we call erosion. So as you can see, we've just come from that big hill over there, well, that spans all the way across here, to this valley over here. So why exactly am I in this valley, and also why is it greener than the rest of the woods? I'll tell you.
Just like we moved down the hill, so did water. Basically, the grass is happy and hydrated.
These are great trees for... There's a red squirrel. Y'all want to see? Oh, there he goes. So I don't know if y'all just heard that or saw the little squirrels I pointed out, but those are red squirrels, and if you just heard those noises, that kind of sounded like wood being patted out aggressively. Well, that's our little red squirrel friend. So if you heard the red squirrel on the ground made a little call, like his little, hey guys, I'm over here. And then his friend in the tree responded with, I don't speak squirrel, but I'm pretty sure they were having a lovely conversation about where to find some nuts. So although it might not look like much, if we push aside these little plants, we see some moss growing. And we might look at moss and think, well, sure, it's moss, it's not that exciting. But when we look around us and see all of this other life growing, that's all because of moss.
Moss. It might not seem like a lot, but it actually does so much. Like all of this. Moss doesn't need a lot of water to live, but it stores a lot of water, which our other water-loving plants love. So our moss forms, and then our little grass comes along and is like, hey, can I chill with you? And then moss is like, 100% buddy, come on here. So then we have our grass. Our grass is just swinging, having a great time, which allows other plants to grow. And what we get next is sun-loving shrubs and sun-loving trees. So once we get those, that creates some shade. So all of our plants who don't like direct sunlight love these trees. They're fantastic because they provide the shade that these other trees need to grow. And suddenly we have a whole lot of layers to our woods. Kind of like this.
Raspberries. This right here is a raspberry bush, and I love raspberries very, very much. And despite it being a thorny exterior, those raspberries are going to make up for my little scratches today. We're not going to do that. Look at all this moss growing, and look at how productive it's being. Look at all of the life that's bringing. Also, let's take a look at things that don't always need moss to grow. Here's some of the funnest guys in the forest. That's right, fungi. We love them. They don't need all this moss to grow, although they do benefit from it. Fungi, actually, they grow great in areas that we might not think as too abundant nutrient-wise and not great for other plants. But look at all these rotting logs. If you ever want to find some fungi just to look at,
don't eat fungi.
You can find your local rotten log and find some. Look what we have here. See those? Whoa! Those are from our friend, the woodpecker. We're gonna walk as we talk about our friends, the woodpeckers. They are actually incredibly smart creatures. So, although some birds might wait for our bugs and our worms to come out of the ground or their tree, woodpeckers don't sit around. They go straight into the tree with their sharp little beaks, and they get out all those grubs that they want to eat. Kind of think about it like the Lion King, except instead of breaking open an entire log, they just do a very precise hole to get them. Ooh, look, more moss. We know how I feel about moss. It's so great. Ooh, speaking of moss. Look at this moss. It's beautiful. Oh, look at it. This is like... We love Shrek. Do you guys remember that divot I was talking about formed by water earlier? Well, look how far it's come. That whole moss pond, well, guess where it came from? Woo! I don't know if you can see that. But there's a squirrel throwing nuts at me, so I apologize if I get hit by a flying nut. Okay, anyways, I came over here to show you these mushrooms. Look at them. And as I said, rotting log. And if we look even further, did you hear that? That was another nut being thrown at me. More mushrooms. And of course, as always, on a rotting log. Over there, I just found some fresh ones. We're gonna go take a closer look. If we look here, we have 2, 3, 4. Wow, you have a lot. Gorgeous fungi and or mushroom. I cannot tell. I will get back to you on that, and I will insert the information as a voiceover here.
Okay, so from what I could find, I am pretty sure it is a polypore, which is a type of mushroom. However, there are loads of different kinds of polypores, so I suspect it is an artist's conch, but I could be wrong.
I'm sorry, I just love the moss pond. Can't get enough of it. Oh, look, it's so cute. Moss pond.
I wanted to mention that moss ponds can be problematic depending on where they are for the environment around them, and also that it's algae, but I like moss ponds better.
There they are. Look at them fly. Way over in that moss pond there that I so deeply love, we have a little trail of water, which has been built a bridge to get over it. But look at how far it goes. Isn't that amazing? I'm sorry to pause the nature walk, but I just wanted to say that this reminds me so much of right behind the cabins, or right in front of our cabins at camp. All of the trees. Before we go any further, I did want to point out one big difference between here and camp. At camp, we have pine trees. And if you know what kind of tree this is, I'll give you a close-up in a minute. Post it in the comments. Well, hello, little birdie. Another one of my favorites. Mushrooms. And that will conclude our Club Manessa Tongue Connected Nature Walk. Tune in tomorrow for our next daily challenge. Go watch cars. Interesting.